Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, it's just a coincidence that you were talking about the Jack and Triumph show and I'm here. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast.
Hey man, this is Kevin Smith, guy who makes all those unlistenable podcasts over at smodcast.com, and you're listening to the Two Strangers, One Podcast. This is Podcast.
You're listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast. Subscribe to us on iTunes or on the Stitcher app for Android devices. Please visit twostrangersonepodcast.net. Now, here's Chris Cologne and Paul Pasquillo.
Well, hello and welcome to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Paul.
And, wow, we're just going to wing it this episode like we wing it every fucking episode.
That's what she said.
Well, we were just, right before we were watching this, right before we started recording, we were watching the Avengers Age of Ultron on Stars or whatever. And I have to say, honestly, that shows you how good Captain America Civil War is. Like, it helps you go back. And actually, when I first came in your house, your fiance was watching Captain America Winter Soldier. So she was watching the end of that, then we decided to watch Age of Ultron. And it's funny how, like, so much better those movies are. Because don't get me wrong, Captain America Winter Soldier was a good movie. But Age of Ultron was, let's be honest. But it's better now after Civil War. So I just wanted to talk about it. I just wanted to say that. It just feels that kind of way. Let me see. What to talk about? Paul, we have a whole bunch of things going on. Hold on. I'm fully moved into my new place, taking baths and stuff like that. I'm just taking a caffeine pill on top of the caffeine that I'm already drinking. Hold on. Woohoo, that's going to kick in real soon. So, this past week, and this isn't, I don't know, should we go into the nerdy news? It's not really nerdy news. Let me see. I kind of wanted to brag about this, but I don't want to brag about it on Facebook. Just
brag about it.
I'll brag about it. So I don't know if he listens to the podcast. He probably doesn't, even though, we say we listen to each other's podcasts, but no one listens. But we got a press pass for I got the press pass for New York Comic Con. I'm super psyched. We go in October, and I confirmed with Matt. He got his. So, for the third year running, we're going to go to Comic-Con. I know it's going to be a good year. I mean, last year we had so many cool interviews and so much stuff to do. And quite frankly, like between that and just like going to panels and stuff like that, I mean, I was exhausted.
You were exhausted. I wasn't even there, and I'm sitting there going, just shoot me in the face, please.
Oh, but it was a lot of fun. I mean, even with, obviously the biggest interview was the Steve Bloom Logic interview. Mm-hmm. And even though that got pushed back and delayed and we had to come back another day and all this other bullshit, or not that we had to come back another day, but I had made sure that we went the night before to the actual panel. Right. So then so then we could have passes to the signing the next day. So, I mean, of course we were probably going to get the interview anyway, but it was nice to go. So, I mean, was it a big ordeal? Was it a big ordeal? Yes, and it was so cool last year meeting Justin Rojas from Funimation. I forgot he does a Twitch podcast. He does a Twitch video podcast.
He does the dub, what is it called? Dub something.
Yeah, and the whole thing is that, like, I wasn't aware that he did that. And I'm there talking to his co-host, she's a hot chick, I forgot her name, but the funny thing is that
don't tell my fiance I said that.
And here's a chick, she's kind of a mini celebrity. I mean, people are coming to take a picture of her, and yet she's doing like security at the fucking booth, at the Funimation booth, like she's helping direct the line and stuff like that, which shows she's a team player. And if you're into anime at all, of course, listen to Paul's other baby, the Toonami Faithful podcast. But, the Funimation video blog podcast, it's on Twitch, if I'm not mistaken. And speaking of, the Toonami Faithful had your 200th episode.
Yes, we did.
Meanwhile, that's why I swear it's like, I think it's a conspiracy. I think those guys you wanted to get those guys' numbers up and kind of had to like put us on the brakes. So Chris, I'm only going to do every other episode. I'm only going to do every other week for Two Strangers on a podcast, but that's all good. But so you guys just did your 200th episode on Twitch, and so it was but it was just basically just to live stream a podcast. Is that basically?
It was basically a podcast, just doing it live, and it turned out wonderfully. So, and it's actually up on SoundCloud right now, soundcloud.com/DonnyFaithfulPodcast. So you can hear it there, iTunes, Stitcher, yeah.
And I would like to, I don't know, I gotta get the Wi-Fi set up in my house, and it'd be cool, like. I would like to maybe set something up in my house, like for like live,
well, you
like
have
like
to have a Wi-Fi connection.
Well, I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, I'd have to have a Wi-Fi. I'd have to have a decent Wi-Fi connection, but I would like to do like a video podcast, or at least once a month.
Well,
or
you
something
could do your
like
Stranger
that.
Cast, or your
The Stranger vlogs.
Yeah.
But the Stranger vlogs usually just come to me when I'm fucking pissed off. When I'm so fucking angry.
So we have to find a girl that pisses you off. Okay, I got you.
Oh, don't even. Oh, that's another thing I have on my list. I'll get to that in just a second.
No. Start now.
Okay, so I think it's the ongoing fucking drama in my life that I'm single. No fucking surprise there.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm such a fucking catch. But
you are with that wonderful beard.
Well, yeah. Look, if a woman doesn't love, if you don't love the beard, then you can't love me. You got to love me or leave me alone. But I've had in the past like 2-3 weeks. I think this is the last time we recorded. The last 2 weeks, I've had 2 separate women I was talking to on OkCupid delete their account, and like it's nothing. Like I don't think it's nothing on me. I mean, I know when girls they go to these dating sites. I know you get harassed. Like if you're a woman, just in general, if you have fucking breasts, there's a million guys that text you, all types of stuff, But one woman I was talking to, and then the funny thing is, the other one I was talking to, the last time we were here, I think was the first time she messaged me, and I showed the picture to your fiance, and she goes, your fiance said she looks crazy, but I guess if you want to just go fuck her or something like. I forgot how she put it. She didn't put it that crudely, but she said She said that's like a one night stand. I think she called it. She goes, the girl looks crazy, but if one night stand, I guess. And we were just talking, and then just poof, just because when you go and you look at your messages, then you see the person's icon, you see the person's profile picture, and then it goes to like that blank, basic like silhouette of a head or whatever. So I've had in the past 2 weeks, one of the women I was talking to going fine, everything's going good. Saturday night, I actually had it the evening off. Like I worked during the day on Saturday. I'm like, hey, you want to go out? Saturday night. It's the law. You have to go out.
Right.
And she doesn't get back to me till fucking Wednesday. Oh, I wasn't feeling too good. And then, then I hit her up the next Saturday. I'm like, okay, last Saturday you weren't feeling so good. You can't feel too bad on 2 Saturdays in a row. Come on, let's go hang out. I promise I'll be a gentleman. I won't try to grab your goodies. I promise I'll make you laugh. And, oh, I don't feel too good. So maybe she's one of those like.
Did you? Let me.
Some people are just fucking sick all the time.
Let me just ask you this question: did you get the digits? Did you start texting?
No, and that's the whole thing. Well, the one that I asked out twice, I had sent her my number because when you go back and forth on the fucking on the OkCupid, it gets annoying after a while sending text. And I'm like, okay, send me text messages or here's my phone number if you'd like to call me. Here's my number, or we can go back and because it's better than using data on your phone.
Well, I think what happens is in this world where we have like, catfish. All these girls are kind of like, yeah, I gotta be careful. But see, like even when I was on like Plenty of Fish, whatever. I'll own up to it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like some of these girls, like I would be like, well, let's text. Like we seem to have some kind of chemistry going back here and forth. I think that you're a real person. You're not some kind of like scumbag or somebody that's trying to be like, buy my cam so you can see me naked.
Oh yeah.
So why don't we text? And these girls are just like, oh no, I think I gotta talk to you a little bit while longer. And it's just like.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like, I understand. Look, I understand it's weird that you're meeting a fucking stranger and this day and age, you hear fucking horror stories. But, I had always said, look, let's meet, let's go to a public place. Let's go somewhere, have coffee. Let's go somewhere, something to eat, but. So there goes my social life again. In the past 2 weeks, I've had 2 people fucking straight up delete their accounts. Now I'm hoping and I'm praying that it's not me. It's probably like after you get harassed, after you get like 50 billion texts of "show us your tits" or some shit like that. Or, hey, what's up? I'm pretty sure they get a lot of that. Like guys that just trying to initiate.
I mean, we could sit here all night and talk about like, well, we've had the podcast before.
Yeah, we've spoke about this. It's just in the past 2 weeks. It's a fucking.
It always annoys me when women are like, well, I want you to write me a paragraph about your life and blah blah blah, and I'm just sitting there going, no, this is a 2-way conversation. I'm gonna start the conversation by saying, "Hi, how are you?" And then I want to see how you respond. If you don't respond to me, or you give me some asinine fucking email, I'm gonna be like, "Peace, I'm not talking to you."
And that's another thing. I mean, I guess it's a good sign that I'm not talking to these chicks, because like you'll go and I'll send them a message, and I always I'll give them a message, and then I end the message in a question. So I'm not leaving her hanging out there. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's a communication supposed to be a two-way street, and I guess it's probably for all the better that neither one of these chicks, because both of them kind of did that. You give me a one-line fucking answer, I give you a fucking paragraph. Oh, I see your profile says you like such and such, and here's a story from my life, and how do you feel about this? So I don't know.
Well,
I don't have any fucking game, I guess. So
well, no, I mean, again, you got to understand. We live in a world now where you got to go on. First of all, if you're gonna find a girl, it's got to be. You're not gonna find one in Rochester, New York. I'm sorry, but I guess I could talk about this. It doesn't involve me, but one of the people I work with, and I guess I can bash her. I didn't date her, and he doesn't know I'm gonna bash her, so I'm just gonna do it anyways. He probably doesn't give a shit anyways. So my boy was dating this girl. She was, I think they had like a 6-year age difference. Not that bad.
Oh, okay.
And this girl, it seemed like they were good together. I think they met on Plenty of Fish, actually. They got engaged, and they paid all this money, and they're still engaged. Nothing was, whatever. He didn't cheat on her. We kind of think that maybe she cheated on him, but with some douchebag. Apparently, she was taking driving lessons, probably at what is it?
MCC or something like that?
No, not MCC. There's a driving place. It's actually over on East Main. I can't think of the name of it.
Oh.
But it's a driving school. But she took a lot of lessons, and he was kind of thinking that maybe the guy that she was taking lessons from was giving her lessons. And I know that sounds fucked up, but
stick shift. Teach her to drive stick.
But like this girl was like, it was like she was so like fucking needy. Like she wanted he needed to be like, if she said you need to be home, like he had to like call in sick to the movie theater to go fucking coddle this bitch. And I'm sitting there going like, what, like, hello? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And this girl is like, look, I understand the girl's 22, 23 years old. Like, but if you're going to get married to somebody, get married to them. If you're not going to get married to them, then don't get engaged in the first place. Yeah. Like, so what I'm trying to say to you is there's crazy chicks out there. So don't fucking sit there and think that, on whatever website it is today or tomorrow, these girls delete their accounts. They probably deleted their accounts because all these guys are like, go fuck me, or they weren't impressed with whoever they were talking to. Not saying
me included,
but it was probably other guys too. I mean, so because we live in an age where you can just literally put your stuff up on a dating profile and get like 50,000 girls that you can talk to. Yeah. Now, I'm in Rochester, New York. You're not going to find a really good girl. Yeah. My fiance is from Pennsylvania. Yeah. So I can tell you right now, that's the way it is. And some people people that listen to this podcast and people I know in my personal life would probably disagree, and they'd be like, "Oh, well, I found somebody here in Rochester." And I'd be like, "Yeah, you got lucky." Yeah. Because 90%, not 90%, I would say about 60 to 70% of the women here are fucking either sluts or pieces of shit, and they eat off the fucking, they try to eat off of any guy that they can. Yeah. And what I mean by eat off any guy, I mean like trying to take money, doing whatever they can.
I don't want to work type shit.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Like, and it's sad. It's really sad. Yeah. And I'm not saying that, and I'm talking, the other 30 to 40% are actually decent women, but most of the time they move away or they find another guy when they go to school or something. Yeah. That's why when I say to somebody, if you really like a girl, go get her number, start talking, do what you got to do to get to that girl in your bed and fucking date her. Do it, because tomorrow she could be gone and she could have another guy and be married. Yeah. In a year. But
so what happens is, okay, so in my job, and I've kind of, I've alluded to, I've transferred stores, and now I'm working in like a very metropolitan part of the city. And it's so weird because there are some fine women that come into my store. I mean, like top shelf. Because it's in this city, it's in the central part of the city. I mean, when people, I would honestly say, unless you're going for something specific, like, okay, I'm going to the theater, or I'm going to such and such, I'm going to here, I'm going to go to this specific, venue. I think if you could say generically where you're going to go hang out in the city, you would kind of go up and down the block from where I work. And there are some fine girls that come in that store. But what kills me is that, since I work the night shift, I sell a lot of beer, these girls born, you check their IDs, born 94, 93, 91. I'm like, bitch, I was in high school. I mean, I'm not, excuse me, not bitch, but you know what I mean? I was like, I feel like such a fucking old man. I have fucking video games older than you, and what kills me is like, I think in like the 30 seconds that I have someone at the register, I could get someone to laugh. I could, I turn on the charm, and I guess maybe because I'm an ugly fuck, I like the girls' defenses are down, like not like I'm really trying to kick it to them, but like it's so weird that like it's not like I'm scared to talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm there and I'm making a good laugh, but then you see the guys they come in with.
Oh, the biggest fucking douche.
Oh, the biggest. That's one thing. Okay, ladies, I don't understand. Why are you attracted to douchebags?
I got a perfect example. Perfect example today. Perfect example. This girl, hot, comes in the gas station. She goes out. She comes in, pays for gas, goes out and pumps her thing. She comes back in and she's like, "Oh, I locked my keys in the car. Can I use your phone?" All right, so I just let her use my phone. Whatever. The guy that pulls up looks like the biggest douchebag, and I'm just sitting there going, "So." You're letting this. I almost wanted to be like. So that guy right there is what you're dating. And while she's on the phone with this guy, she's looking like oh shit, he's probably gonna get pissed at me. Like, is that the kind of society we live in? Like, fuck.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that you see these guys. Like, okay, I'll be ringing out a guy and a girl. The girl super hot, and of course, look. Obviously, I shouldn't be I shouldn't be judging by fucking visual standards, because if that's the case, no one would fucking talk to me. What I'm saying is, you're there. It's a hot chick, and the guy is like a douche, and then like they'll be buying like condoms or lube, and then like and the guy's like to me. Oh, you know what that's gonna mean? Like shit like that. And let me tell you, that happens more than you'd imagine. Real fucking douchey fucking dudes, and I'm like. How fucking embarrassing. And it's like, sweetheart, I'm pretty sure that if you really took fucking priority of your life, you would see that there's probably 30 fucking guys lined up right now. You know what I'm saying? If you left this guy today, or if you went on Facebook and you changed your fucking status back to single, there'd be
50 guys lined up.
There'd be 30 guys hitting you up going, hey, what's up, what's up?
Exactly.
There was a GIF like that where it was like a factory where they packaged like hot dogs. And you see all these hot dogs kind of like flying off a conveyor belt, hitting a wall, and it's like my life when I changed my relationship status to single. So as like sweetheart, you have your fucking pick of the litter. There's 30 fucking guys off the top of your head
waiting
that I'm pretty sure
literally
that can take it, and you chose this asshole. You there's something girls like bad boys, or they think maybe they could change somebody, but it's not like this was the only guy in your fucking arsenal, and you chose this one.
Well, here's the other thing too is if for every douchebag guy that this girl's with, she probably has a best friend that's a guy that probably would treat her like a fucking queen. That she just sits there and goes, "Oh, he's just my friend," and she's just a fucking idiot.
Yeah, it's like that's the whole thing. Like you've made this bad decision. Like, okay, have I been in bad relationships? Yes, I've been in bad relationships, but I don't have a choice. I'll be with whoever will be with me. Right. I'm kind of stuck with this person. It's not like I fucking had options and I said, "Oh, I could be with this girl, that girl, this girl," and but I'm, and I've unfortunately been unlucky with the people that I've been with.
I'll be honest. Like when I was, the one thing that I always wanted to have like this really like, really hot, like really hot, like I guess model chick. I mean, every guy fucking wants that kind of shit. Mm-hmm. But then when you get to like, I'm about to be like 32 years old next month. Like you don't really like. My fiance is everything that I want. Mm-hmm. She cooks, she cleans, she does everything. What do I need?
Yeah, but she's. I mean, not to be disrespectful. She's attractive. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not. You didn't fucking marry. You're not engaged to a beast. You know what I'm saying? You're not. Exactly. I love you, Paul. Chewbacca mom and shit. She's attractive. And it's. I don't know. And then I feel like an asshole. because I'll have like these 45-year-old women that do reach out to me on OkCupid, and I'm like,
cougars.
well, no, they're not. They look like they ate a cougar. And look, like I said, I know I'm the last one to talk about, but I mean, like, okay, do I have the stupid beard? Yes, I have the stupid fucking beard. I understand that.
Okay, so we're gonna have a little intervention here. Okay, so. First of all, I kind of think like what you need to do is I think you need to find somebody that's, I wouldn't say you're 38 years old. I would say somebody that's in between 30 and 38 years old. You should, number one, try to get in there. Don't get somebody that's older than you. Fuck that shit. Tried that, didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Number two, lower your standards. Now,
Well,
what I
yeah.
mean by lower your standards is, you know, one of the things that you always say to me is, you know, a girl in public should be like, if
I say the sky is purple, she
Right.
should say how wonderful shade of purple.
I you know what, dude, I don't really
Don't make that such a priority.
No, don't make anything like what I would do for you. What I would say to you is this: bring your standards down and say, "Look, I just want to see what happens."
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing: those girls that are were born in 1994.
Mm-hmm.
If one of them is attracted to you, go bang the shit out of them. You don't have to fucking marry him.
Yeah, that's true. But I've always,
I mean, look.
I'm a serial monogamist. I really have.
Let me make this clear to you, man. Like these. What I've started to notice, and it's a growing trend, is younger women like older men. And it's not because, obviously there is that group, they had a news story on News 13 about this, which was weird, about how some women out there are going on a website and getting sugar daddies, like giving them sex and whatever in exchange for money, and then they pay off their college education. There's those women. And I'm not talking about those women. What I'm talking about is the women that, you know, genuinely are sick and tired of the guy that's their age that sits there and treats them like shit, and they're looking for somebody that's older and mature, and they want to try to find that person that is going to actually appreciate them. So what I'm saying to you is maybe you should see if you can find that too, because it's kind of like you can't just sit there and be like, okay, well, I'm gonna go and get, you know, I'm gonna go out with this chick, and she needs to be this age, and she needs to be this, and it's just like, no, fuck that. That's where I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna let what happens.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, when I was dating, I was always honest. I'm like, look, I'm what was it, like 27, 28 years old the last time that I was on a dating website. I'm like, this is how old I am. I don't know what, you know, I don't know if you like that, but, you know, this is how it is. This is who I am. I have a kid, straight up. That's all you really need to know. I'm not going to sit here and be a fucking asshole. And, you know, I think people do respond to that, you know, and it's, I think, you know, I just think that you need to just broaden your horizons and see what happens, my friend.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody messages you at random, why not see where it goes?
Well, no, that's the whole thing. No, the people, and of those two, one of them liked me, and on the page it lets you know if it's a mutual like.
Yeah.
You know, so I had already liked her page, and then she liked mine, so that's how we initiated the conversation. And then the other one wrote to me, you know, and we went back and forth, and then, you know, you ask her out twice, and then all of a sudden, fucking, you know, deleted account, you know.
How long did you wait before you asked her out?
We were chatting about 2 weeks. You know, that to me, I think that's a good enough time of getting to know somebody. At least you know, to get you in the mindset that I'm not a fucking psycho.
Well, I mean, I always think what it is it goes. You talk for at least a week on the website to maybe 2 weeks. If you guys are like talking every day, then I think after a week you should be like, hey, can I get your number and text you?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to call you or anything. I just want to text because I think that would be easier for us. And, you know, go from there. And if she gives you the trust to do that, then you guys continue that way. And then after a month, if you've gotten to that where you guys have a real conversation every night, be like, hey, why don't we meet up in some public place, like Marketplace Mall?
Well, that's the whole thing. I always say I said, let's go meet somewhere. And I say in the public place, you know.
Right.
And that makes you sound like a creep or something.
Right. That's the thing. Like I would always be like, look,
I want you to meet me at the Gates Hotel.
I think we should date. I was like, I think we should go out on a date. What I'd like to do is why don't we go to dinner? We'll get to know each other. We'll see each other face to face. And what we could do is we'll meet somewhere public, like, you know, not Red Lobster. That's too fucking expensive. Everything's expensive these days. Applebee's, I guess. We'll meet at Applebee's. You know, this Applebee's. Let's meet there. We'll eat. We'll have some fun. You know, and if we like each other, we'll go see a movie after, and then we'll conversate and see where things go.
Yeah.
And I think that, I think doing it naturally that way works. But then that also gets you to see if you got a fucking psycho or you got a fucking nitpicker that sits there and goes, well, how are your teeth? Or how fat are you? Or how skinny are you?
I'm fat, baby.
Because believe it or not, you get girls. Some of those girls that are hot and that walk in, they will not date a guy that has a chisel that is like fucking like the weightlifter that's like, yeah, man, I could break you in 2 seconds. No. They want the fat guy that they can cuddle up with.
A realistic, down to earth kind of guy.
Right.
Because they know we're not going anywhere.
So
no one else wants us. So, but I don't know. It's just one of those deals where I'm so frustrated with the bullshit. And it's like, if you're not going to meet somebody, don't be on a fucking dating site.
I love how this has become another dating podcast.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and once again, please don't be mad at me. I cheated on you last week again.
Yes, I know. You fucking
with my homeboy Big Ray. And then, like, not for nothing, it did go well enough where he's like, dude, he goes, whenever you don't do a podcast with Paul, I'll be more than happy to do a podcast with you. So,
fucking asshole.
But you know what? Like, he does, like, his thing is wrestling. He does like, fucking, like, 3 or 4 different wrestling web podcasts.
Wait. Where's my fucking invite?
What do you mean?
Why can't I be on
if you want to go on this podcast.
I don't have any time, but when can I be on this podcast?
If you want to, I'm pretty sure, arrangements can be made because, Big Ray, and he has his podcast. His main one is Big Ray and the Wrestling Chick podcast, and he does one called WrestleZone and Big Slam Nation and all these other fucking podcasts. And he's like, and it's funny because he's been doing it for like 6 years now. But between like doing stuff on YouTube and podcasting and stuff like that, he's been doing it pretty much for like 6 years. And he's like, this is the first podcast that wasn't about wrestling, and it's because, this is my homeboy from back in the day. And so, I want to give a shout out to him or whatever. So, I mean, don't be surprised if I do another podcast with him. I'm not cheating on you. You're my number one, whatever. But
I ain't your side chick.
He's my side chick. But no, but
yeah, he could be your fucking side chick.
I'm gonna say he's my boy from back in the day, and so
he's your boyfriend from back in the
my
day?
boy, my homeboy. We have we have roots together. So he may if we may we may do other episodes in the future.
What
Look,
kind of roots?
I have to podcast. I have to get out of my house and record, or I'm gonna fucking die. You know what I'm saying? Like if I sit at home, I'm gonna fucking.
Well, I saw you put up a picture. You're at the library, and it looks like you're fucking DJing outside.
Let me tell you, because with the holiday weekend, the library was closed on Saturday. Was it Saturday?
Yeah.
Or Friday or whatever. And so, but you could sit outside the library and get a Wi-Fi signal. And then that library actually has outside like bench, like not picnic tables, like a 4-person round table.
Was there other people using that too?
No, there wasn't. There was nobody else there. But then you're like, oh, what about electricity? Well, they actually have these like covered outlets, and you just lift up the little panel, plug your thing in. So I plugged in my laptop. I sat there in the fucking hot ass sun. It was like literally like 90 degrees that day on my computer. So I'm like, okay, I went out and actually got sun. I was breathing in, they have beautifully manicured lawns around the library.
Sometimes I wonder about you.
Well, I went outside, but it's just like I went outside to get on my laptop.
I'm surprised wherever you were didn't get flooded with sweat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, let me tell you, I sweated. I when I got home, I had to drink a Gatorade. I bought a bottle of Coca-Cola because I needed to get the extension cord. Now, funny, in my house, I got fucking boxes and boxes of extension cords, but I didn't want to drive all the way back to my house. So I go to Walmart and I buy, fucking like $1.70 fucking extension cord. And I'm like, all right, let me get something to drink. That fucking Coca-Cola bottle was like, by the time the day was over, I didn't drink it all the way. Like, it was fucking hot. It was, I'm drinking hot, syrupy fucking Coca-Cola, like at the end of the day. And it was kind of nasty. But, so yeah, I mean, uploading, because what I'm doing right now is I'm uploading the older episodes onto YouTube. And it takes, when you're doing Wi-Fi in a public area, uploads are fucking forever. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
it takes
nobody
me
was
like
probably on that Wi-Fi either, so it probably took longer. It didn't take as long.
But I got a lot of them done, as a matter of fact. But I am putting them up on YouTube and all the older episodes, because we are running out of server space, and I'm also putting them up on Facebook on our Facebook page, facebook.com/2strangers1podcast.
Free plug.
Yeah, just throwing it out there. I was just and then just being on the computer and stuff. It feels weird because I actually have to leave my house to use the internet. So but I basically got my hands on a little cheapy Net 10 phone, and for like $40 a month you can fucking get like unlimited data on the phone. So I have like a little cheap $10 phone with like
So you
data
got
on
the
it.
straight talk, basically.
It's not straight talk, it's net 10, but you know, I'm like, for that $40, I could probably get just Wi-Fi in my house. Now I could probably get cheap Wi-Fi in the house or whatever. So I don't know. I'm still getting unpacked right now.
Did you grab everything from your apartment?
Yeah, everything's out of the old place. You know, I'm at the new place. You know,
Did you just leave whatever it was the way it was?
I left that apartment in fucking shambles because those bastards, you know, they raised my rent, and then I go on Craigslist and I see that they're charging cheaper than the new raised rent that they were making me pay on Craigslist. So that was like a big giant fuck
They
you.
were probably trying to get rid of people. That's what it was.
Yeah, I think they were trying to get. Maybe I don't know, but you know, I was like, I can't believe I'm on Craigslist and I'm seeing my apartment for cheaper than what you're charging me, and yet you jacked me up. You know, you jacked up my rent as soon as you took over. Then you're going to send me a letter saying, well, if you don't like that we're raising your rent, this is your 30-day notice. So it's basically, well, fuck you then. You're going to raise my rent? Kiss my ass. I moved to another place. You could kiss my ass. So, yet again, and it's funny because I'm uploading these old episodes of the podcast and I listen and I'm like, I'm talking about moving then. I move like once a year now. Except for that last place I was there for a little over 2 years. Okay, so I think with that, we'll be back with more dick and fart jokes.
This episode of Two Strangers, One Podcast is brought to you by Comics Etc., 1115 East Main and North Goodman at the Hungerford Building, door number 8. Find out more information at comicsetc.biz or like them on Facebook at facebook.com/comicsetc1.
Click and Hit, enhancing the experience for all recreational smokers. Click and Hit is a one-handed portable vaporizer. This smoking pipe has a compact 4-stage design, complete with a built-in, windproof, butane refillable torch lighter. The large burn chamber holds your stash of legal herb or pipe tobacco. Click the button to ignite and inhale as usual. When you are done, put it back in your pocket for later. Smoke anytime with the touch of a button. No more carrying around grinders and tins. Pipe, rolling papers, and even your lighter at home. The Click and Hit cordless vaporizer is no bigger than a normal cigar, making it the world's smallest and most discreet vaporizer. It's perfect for use in small places or shared rooms. It's efficient, getting 5 to 8 draws from your packed chamber. It's affordable at just $19.95 each. Buy 3 and the shipping is free. Buy 4 and you get the 5th one free. Visit www.click-n-hit.com. That's clickandhit.com. And now for listeners of Two Strangers, One Podcast, you can use promo code STRANGERS and receive 10% off your purchase at clickandhit.com. That's promo code STRANGERS for 10% off your purchase.
And we're back. Okay, so enough of the sad, fucking pathetic, can't get laid news. Let's get into the nerdy news. Okay. Well, this past weekend was MomoCon down in Georgia. Well, there was also MegaCon because a friend of the show, Danny Duncan, went to MegaCon in Florida.
There was something else. I want to say on the West Coast.
Yeah, nowadays, not for nothing. Now that I've joined a couple of pages on Facebook, like there are fucking conventions. You know, like if you if you follow certain celebrities and those celebrities want to hit the circuit, like they every weekend, even if it's like, you know, fucking Indiana Comic-Con, like, you know, they'll go, you know, and, you know, I guess if you know how to budget your money and you know, you can do it, you can just work the circuit. I mean, of course, you'll never fucking be at home, but, you know, you can go from town to town.
And you'll be broken in debt.
Yeah, it'd be broken. No, I'm talking about like the people. I'm talking about like the presenters, people who have panels and stuff, you know, or people with selling comics or whatever. And speaking of, I mean, I know it's you know, but they do have, if you want to submit a panel for New York Comic Con. So just throwing it out there. I don't know if you wanted to, you know, throw a Toonami one.
I've heard that's very, very hard to do. I don't know. I probably would get a decent crowd for the Toonami, for like doing a Toonami panel. But if I were to do that, I would have to have like...
You'd have to promise at least one big name in there.
I would have to have somebody there. I'd have to have somebody there if I was doing New York Comic Con. And I would also have to be like... I'd also have to like go to Jason Martin. Please give me an announcement. Like, I know I don't work there, but please give me one. That's the only reason I would go. But you know, I probably will be around here in Rochester. I probably will do. I probably will do Flower City Comic Con at least next year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure
just because MomoCon was always your big thing. That was always your thing, and it's like the first year where you kind of like.
Yeah.
And then friend of the show, John Galbo, I feel bad because, like I said, I'll brag about it on the podcast. His press pass was denied for New York Comic Con, and I that's why I feel bad. Like I don't want to talk about it on Facebook.
Well, I mean, the good thing that's been going on this year for ToonamiFaithful.com, my site, is that we've been able to do with Patrick coming on board and CJ, our editorial writer. He's now that once he did Anime Boston, he was like, "Ooh, I want to do more cons." So he just got accepted to Connecticut. It's in Connecticut somewhere. So he's going to be doing that one. I just announced that on Twitter just today, actually. So I mean, we've been doing a lot of cons this year, and it's very good to see that. I may personally be doing a con. I don't really want to talk about that just yet. I have to. Details need to be ironed out, and things need to be arranged before that can happen. But so I may do a con outside of Rochester, but I'm not sure how that's going to be. See, the other problem is the reason we didn't do MomoCon is obviously Toonami wasn't there. So, and we got through back channels, we got a message that said, you know, don't come to MomoCon because we're not going.
Oh, okay.
So we got chant. We find out things very quickly. But the thing is we're kind of waiting to see if they're going to do like a different con this year. We don't know if they will. I know they did San Diego Comic-Con last year. I don't know if they will do that. I think they may not do a con this year just because they don't really have anything big to announce. But there again, like the big announcements that they've had, like for example, they have Mobile Suit Gundam, Iron Blooded Orphan. I know Will, who listens to this podcast, who's friends now on my page.
Will Hamilton, yeah.
I know he'll be watching Toonami. He better fucking watch Toonami for the English dub. That's a huge thing, but I think what's been happening is they're not really able to announce things, so it's kind of like they have to announce. They can only announce when they can, and it might be like certain things where they can't just do it at cons anymore. So I don't really know. I really don't know at this point. I'm trying to probably starting next month. I'm going to be hitting the ground really hard and being like, okay, I need to know what's going on here. Are you going to this con or not? And if you are, I need to know so that way we can get ready for that. Because I need to put people in place. I need to have cameras there. I probably will end up recording that panel somehow because as we've seen, it's either the con or their system or whatever. Whenever they try to do a live stream of it live, it just turns out bad. Yeah. Now when they on the rewind, obviously they have it on camera and they can put it up, but
Yeah, live is always kind of, and I mean, I can't speak for San Diego Comic-Con because I wasn't there, but I mean, New York Comic-Con, everything has to be hardwired because they offered free Wi-Fi at the fucking last year with promotion for Batman v Superman, it was LexCorp, like you could sign into LexCorp Wi-Fi, and it was so shitty and it was spotty in spots and it was slow, and it's like, I understand, there's every fucking nerd in the fucking northeastern United States is there, but
that's the thing, like, I would absolutely love to do some kind of, like, stream. Like, I would love to stream, like, a Toonami panel on our Twitch channel. But the problem is that you get these really shitty connections at these cons. And it's not just a con. You go to a store, you go to a library or something. 90% of the time, those connections are not the best. No. So, and the thing is how am I supposed to broadcast something like that? Obviously, like with my cell phone, I can do a lot more stuff. There's been some things I've been testing, and I'm not going to go into that because I don't need people that are my competition finding that stuff out. But suffice to say, I've been testing some things, and I figured out some things that I think will work. I haven't gotten to that point yet, so hopefully, we'll see what happens. I got to find some other information out first too. But I do think that doing a panel now would be very easy. I won't even need a Jose to edit it. I would just record it. I would talk to the con. I would get it all arranged. I would get it all set the way that I wanted to, and then it would be done the way that I want it.
Editing,
but there again, it doesn't happen. I don't know. Like, that's the problem. Like, it's really hard to make these things happen when you don't have all the shit in place. So, I don't know what's going on with Toonami. I'm hoping that they do a panel this year. I have a sneaking suspicion of where they're going to go if they do, but I don't know that for sure. So if I find that out, I'll be there. If not, and I figured out that they're not going to, I'll probably go to a con that's outside of Rochester. I'll tell my boss to go fuck off for 2 days. Hey, whatever.
Gotcha. So with the we just celebrated Memorial Day.
Yes.
And
I worked 14 hours.
Much respect to our soldiers and stuff like that. I'll get into a moment that I went to go see X-Men Apocalypse, and I snuck in to go see The Jungle Book. But here we are, just less than a month after Captain America: Civil War. Memorial Day, the one person who should be the one fictional person who you would think would be the main focus on Memorial Day, Captain America. Well, we millions of comic book fans get stabbed in the heart finding out that Captain America turns Hydra. Which of course I think this is just some gimmick, and they're going to find a way to write their way. They're going to write themselves out of that corner. But of all fucking days, they couldn't wait until until October or something like that to hit us with a.
But see the fun.
I guess strike while the iron's hot or something.
The fun thing that came out of that is all the fucking
all the memes.
The memes that came out of it. There was one for Sonic the Hedgehog. You tried to do one for Superman.
I did one with Superman, which it's pretty impressive seeing that they took a picture of a guy with a fucking mask on.
Darth
and I made
Vader.
it.
There was one for Darth Vader. There's actually one. It's still Captain America, and I actually put it up on my Twitter. It was hilarious. I gotta look it up real quick, but the guy that's next to him, instead of whoever it was, he has Stone Cold Steve Austin tied up.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was me, Austin. It was me all along.
It was me, Austin. It was me all along.
Vince McMahon, yeah.
So that was awesome. So,
my favorite, other than the one I did, because I fucking put a lot of work into that one with Superman, is the one other one that I like is Spider-Man, because there was Batman that said I shot my parents, Daredevil said I could see the whole time. Then the one with Spider-Man says fuck responsibility, because with great power comes great responsibility. He was fuck responsibility. So of all the heroes in the comic book to take a fucking heel turn, to use a wrestling analogy, he takes a fucking heel turn right just before Memorial Day. Captain America stabs 1 million people in their hearts.
Where's JR? Good old JR.
Where's it? And then
Captain America, they turned heel.
And then I saw another comic that said, do you know what the A stands for? It says Adolf Hitler, Hail Hydra. So, that was kind of cool. And like I said, and then as we're recording this, right before we got on here on Facebook, they announced that Thor 3, Thor Ragnarok, as they're filming, or they're getting ready to start filming right now, rumors are being, and this is not really a spoiler because it was all over Facebook, and that they are going to, quote unquote, use elements from the Planet Hulk storyline, which pretty much a lot of people we saw coming, especially at the end of Avengers Age of Ultron, where basically, Thor goes into the fucking pit or whatever. He goes into the water pit and he has all these illusions of fucking, of Asgard. And the Hulk ends up on the fucking quad jet, disappearing to God knows where. So according to what I've read on Facebook, and I believe it was Screen Rant or one of those Screen Crush or one of those fucking websites, they're saying that they're going to use elements of Planet Hulk where Thor finds Hulk already on the planet. So that may be that maybe the Planet Hulk storyline already took place during the time that in between these movies, the Planet Hulk storyline. And I think one of the other big things about that, and I was telling you about it before, is that one of the parts of the storyline is that, because that Planet Hulk storyline is basically, he ends up on a ship. The Avengers kind of shoot him into space because, they're really scared of what he can do. And, Tony Stark kind of basically says, I'm sorry, we're strapping you on a fucking ship. When Hulk wakes up, he looks at, he's watching a screen and they have him I don't know if I got this from the comic or from the actual cartoon, but he basically tells Hulk, look, I'm sorry, but, you're too fucking dangerous for Earth. We have to shoot you into space. And we know you're going to survive because you're damn near immortal. So we're sorry, but you're a threat to Earth or whatever. And so he lands on a planet, and the movie basically, like, the storyline is totally like a Gladiator, the movie, the Russell Crowe Gladiator,
right.
Where, he starts off as like, he ends up on a planet where there's basically like gladiator battles in an arena or whatever. And he's a good fighter. And then like he gathers up the other gladiators along his side and they kind of start a revolution and they take over the planet. Then he becomes the leader.
I would say that what happens probably, based on what happened in Age of Ultron, probably what happens is he doesn't. They don't send him off. Obviously, he finds a way to get off the planet so that he can.
Well, because we didn't get to the actual end of Age of Ultron, but at the end of Age of Ultron, he's on a ship flying off to God knows where.
Well, he's on a ship.
He's on a Quinjet, and the Quinjets can technically go in outer space.
Yeah, but if you remember at the end. Scarlett Johansson's character goes to look for him because what's his name? Nick Fury said that there was something like an island in the middle of the ocean or something. So I don't know. I mean, that's what I remember. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but so obviously she goes off to try to find him.
She goes to find him, but he ends up going fucking off the planet, and that's the whole thing. And then Thor finds him. But I think one of the biggest twists or whatever, and this is not really like a spoiler, but in the comics, when Hulk is on that planet with all the crazy barbarians, he has a son. He has a son named Scar, which he has. There's an extraterrestrial. Her name is Caiera, Caiera. And I guess, since she's an alien, she can fucking take his Hulk splooge or whatever. And they have a kid. And his son stays green all the time. His son is green all the time. There's never like a conversion back to human. And I mean, that's been a while, maybe things have changed in the comics since then.
I mean, we'll see what happens, but from what it said it was going to take elements from it, so I'm guessing it's not going to be like whatever the storyline was, but it's going to be like hints of it. Mm-hmm. I also think what's going to happen here is this is their way of kind of trying to allude to another Hulk movie.
Yeah, I guess they want to test the waters, and if the people like it, they'll give us a Hulk movie. Right. Which why not?
But the thing is the rights are still at Universal, so I found that out the other day because I was talking to somebody about it. The thing is what Universal has is they have the rights to do standalone Hulk films. Mm-hmm. Marvel has the rights to put him in whatever they want. Mm-hmm. So, they can put whatever movie they want out, but,
let them do what they did with Sony and just fucking let them make a movie and let Universal collect the check.
Don't get me wrong, I like who the Hulk is now, and he's fine, and that'll work, but I really would have loved to have Edward Norton as this kind of Hulk. I think that would have been a little bit better, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. So, and once again, it's kind of weird because when we're watching Age of Ultron, there is a whole. I keep wanting to say Age of Voltron, not Age of Voltron, Age of Ultron. There is a scene where basically, where Black Widow talks about how they made her sterile and she can't have kids. Yet the Hulk in that particular storyline, if they were going to follow that story, he does end up going off somewhere and having a kid on an alien planet. Which would make her feel like full of resentment, like we had said. I
don't think so.
Because she had said like we can go off together because neither one of us can have a kid. Now he's like, well, I don't want to have a kid because I'm gonna bust a nut and fucking turn into a green monster.
I think that it'll end up being where they. I mean, obviously, you're around Tony Stark. If they really wanted to have a kid, I'm sure they could figure it out.
Yeah.
But I think what's going to end up happening is you'll end up seeing them get together at some point, probably at the end of whatever it is, because the
Infinity War.
They're going to rename it though, aren't they? Apparently,
yeah, they're going to rename it. It says not called Infinity War 1 and 2, which I'm glad they aren't because that's as much as I like it to be called Infinity War. That doesn't sound. People aren't going to fucking go to that. So But I just thought, she would be like resentful, like, "Oh, you went and fucking had a kid when I'm sterile and shit like that."
Yeah, but he can get away with that because that's not really him. That's the Hulk.
Yeah, right. It wasn't me. It was the other guy. It wasn't me. It was my dick. Okay. Okay. I just wanted to talk about this real quick, and I know you wanted to talk about Brock Lesnar. We'll get to Brock Lesnar.
Well, not Brock Lesnar. The other thing.
Goldberg. Excuse me. So they're starting to release. The movie hasn't even been filmed yet. They haven't fucking done one frame of fucking filming. They're already doing teaser trailers for fucking Transformers 5, and it's all this, all footage from the moon and the Megatron where you hear like a roar and it's supposed to be Megatron's voice.
Well, is he really Megatron anymore though? Because isn't he supposed to be Galvatron.
But I think
he was Galvatron in the last movie.
Well, he was Galvatron, but he was using Megatron. They used like Megatron's head or something like that. Like he was making like fake Transformers, but then they used Galvatron's head. They used Megatron's head, so technically it is Megatron. Or I've lost fucking track, and I'm such a Transformers fan, and these movies have just put a fucking bad taste in my mouth, And then the last movie did $1 billion because they fucking put Grimlock in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole reason the whole world went to go see that movie was because we wanted to see Grimlock, which they basically just made him into like a stupid dinosaur. And I don't know, Michael Bay must have a bug up his ass because now that they made... they had kind of alluded to this was alluded to in the Age of Extinction, that Optimus Prime is a knight. Like, on top of being the Prime and the One and the Last Prime and all this, every other fucking movie, he's always like some predestined bullshit. Now they're calling this one The Last Knight, and they're filming with fucking Marky Mark again. And
what's his name from the original trilogy? Oh god, I can't think of the name off the top of my head.
Not Shia LaBeouf.
No.
Oh.
Not Tyrese, the other one. Can't think of his name.
Oh, shit. Yeah, but no one goes to those movies to see him. I mean, I'm glad he's working, but not. You're talking about the soldier?
Yeah, because he was the one in charge. Tyrese and him were in charge of the unit.
Oh,
I can't think of the name.
guy that's
Josh was his name.
Josh Duhamel.
Duhamel. Yeah.
Josh Duhamel. Yeah, no one goes to see those fucking movies for him.
Well, I mean, it'll probably be better.
Making all the panties moist or whatever, but because they made Grimlock, and so, even though he's supposed to be a dinosaur, he was kind of like a dragon. And then fucking Optimus Prime had a sword, and then this one's called The Last Knight, and the part of the artwork is a fucking sword, like, it says Last Night with us. Like, really? I mean, did we left the whole fucking... At least they were trying in the first couple movies to make it sort of like the old ones where, where it was like, even though it was a cube and it was really supposed to be Energon cubes, and they kind of had the Matrix in the third one, even though it was the Spear of the Matrix or whatever the fuck it was called. Now they're just like, oh, now he's fucking King Arthur. Like, enough with this, enough with the fucking bullshit, Michael Bay. Jesus Christ, and the sad thing, but like, the Ninja Turtles movie actually looks good. Like it actually looks, at least it looks like they're trying. With Krang, and I finally got a chance to see Krang in one of the commercials now. I mean, Bebop and Rocksteady look pretty much like they did in the cartoon.
That's why this one will actually be good, because I think adding that element will be
and
really good.
And Stephen Amell, they're doing it. At least they're trying with Stephen Amell looking like Casey Jones. Megan Fox. I mean, we're stuck with Megan Fox, so
she didn't take away. Actually, to be honest with you, she did play a good April O'Neil. I will give her that.
Mm-hmm.
I was very surprised by that. I thought she would fuck it up. She did a really good job. So I'm not worried about Megan Fox in this particular movie.
Yeah. Well, at least they wrote it well enough where she's like, well, I'm not just a pretty face. Like, don't write me off as just a pretty face. So at least they kind of addressed the fact. Kind of sounded like what they did with Aunt May in Captain America: Civil War. Like, they addressed the fact that she's hot.
So, two more things. We'll get to the Goldberg thing here in a minute. But one thing I remembered that just showed up on Facebook today, I don't know if it's a rumor, but it's been reported on several sites out there that apparently Disney's not happy with Rogue One, and they're going back to doing like
a whole bunch of reshoots.
Yeah, reshoots
for Rogue
One.
One.
What does that mean? Like,
you know what it was is they probably had the script, and then The Force Awakens came out, and Force Awakens. Yes, is it a beat-for-beat remake of A New Hope? Yes, but A New Hope was a great fucking movie that everyone loved.
But here's the thing, like, this one is not supposed to be in the original trilogy, so I don't think that... I understand where Disney's coming from. They want it to be a $1 billion movie, but this doesn't need to be a $1 billion movie. It says Star Wars in the title. Shitloads of Star Wars fans are going to go watch this. You're going to do at least $500 million. Shut the fuck up and just let it be the way it is.
Yeah, it is. One, they have the money to go back and do reshoots. audience. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're crying for fucking money.
No.
And you know, it is, I mean, the bar was raised so high. You know, J.J. Abrams, and trust me, you know, as much as I love Force Awakens, it's not like I'm saying, oh, it's the greatest movie ever made or whatever. I mean, I did make jokes like, you know, why doesn't Force Awakens getting fucking Oscars? And you were like, Chris, slow down. But, you know, the bar was raised so high that, you know, the people making Rogue One, you know, they have to be apprehensive. You know, they probably had the script laying around, and at first it was probably like, okay, we're gonna do it. And then Force Awakens did so well, they like
look,
second guessing.
Look, as far as I'm concerned about it, do whatever you're gonna do, just do it. Okay, this is not supposed to be. I mean, maybe they're thinking that they're gonna end up spinning this one off onto something else, but I don't think. I mean, that's kind of stupid because this is supposed to be kind of like Rogue One is supposed to set up A New Hope in some sense. Obviously, New Hope came years and years and years ago, but I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. Yeah, it's supposed to give us
like
a new look into how
it's like. I can't think of. Oh, it was called It was called Star Wars Dark Forces, is the video game. And you would one of the missions was you stole the plans to the Death Star. I as a matter of fact, I think it was the first mission you did. I mean, this is pretty much going to be that video game, but in a different way.
Yeah.
So I mean that's fine. I don't care. You go ahead, show me, do your thing, and then move on. It's fine. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to take this as seriously as A Force Awakens. Okay.
Yeah, because it's canon, but it's not canon. It's
Listen,
it's not the Skywalker storyline. So you're
going to do you're going to do 500 million here at least in the United States of America, in my mind. Overseas, you're probably going to do at least $1 billion overseas. So, I mean, I don't know why we're having this conversation.
Yeah, and especially like in the trailer, like not for nothing. There's a big element of this movie that looks very much martial arty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got guys hitting people with sticks and you got this other character. So I think I'm not trying to say that they're doing it on purpose, but when you get the overseas viewers, you know, it's easy to go, okay, you know, overseas viewers, because action translates in any fucking language. So that's going to do well in overseas. And it's funny because I totally forgot about this earlier this week. One of the things everyone was fucking splooging in their pants when they fucking said, when they showed Rogue One and they started showing the admirals with the white suits, with the white uniforms, everyone was saying, oh, Grand Admiral Thrawn. Then they kind of, earlier this week, Dave Filoni, like the main guy behind the Star Wars Rebels cartoon, has basically teased saying that Grand Admiral Thrawn is going to be in Rebels. And that's almost like a done deal. So the good thing is that they are going to have Thrawn. For all the fanboys, myself included, that want to see Thrawn, he's going to be in the universe. They're going to, you know, his quote-unquote Legends extended universe, they're going to bring him into the Star Wars Rebels, which I guess technically means they can have him in Rogue One. I don't think they're going to, because that's just way too much for, you know, people that aren't fans.
Have him, but, I mean, if Darth Vader's going to be in there, that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, Rebels, you know, so I think that's exciting. And like I said, I mean, if they want to go back and reshoot stuff, I mean, you know,
go ahead, but don't make this serious. This is not supposed to be like whatever. It's like the Han Solo movie. Why? You don't need to make that serious. I mean, that right there, like you could probably make that into like a 3-movie series of films.
Oh yeah.
I mean, same thing with Boba Fett. If you really wanted to, you could do that one too.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to, but again, this is their own trilogy. This is not supposed to be in the continuity of this Star Wars.
Yeah.
This Star Wars is in the continuity of the other 6. Okay?
Yeah.
Fine. Do what those ones need to be serious. Those ones need to be done correctly. These other ones? No. We're good. We're fine. Yeah. You know? And we'll get to this last thing too, and then we gotta go.
Yeah.
Goldberg showed up.
Goldberg. I had said Brock Lesnar, and it's funny because I was actually at WrestleMania 20 in Madison Square Garden where we had Brock Lesnar fight Goldberg. So I guess that's why I had Brock Lesnar on the brain. But
well, so I guess like WWE had been putting out on their Twitter account these really like cryptic messages, and usually when that happens, some wrestler's going to return or something special is going to happen. And come to find out, it was, you know, all of a sudden, like, and I was working when this was happening, so I didn't get to see it on TV live, but the commercial comes on, and here's these cops, and then you hear the marching noise from his theme.
Yeah. Goldberg.
Well, you don't hear that. You just hear like the marching. So all of a sudden, like they blow up this door, and then Goldberg comes. You see Goldberg, and then his theme, and then you see the cops next to him, like when he enters.
Mm-hmm.
So, and pretty much what this is it's the 2017 WWE game. And he's going to be, if you pre-order it, you get him as the character. So, and this happened the year before with Sting.
Oh yeah.
So everybody's like buzzing about that. Oh, he's going to fight Brock Lesnar. Oh, he's going to be in the Hall. I think that I think that Goldberg finally got what he's been wanting for years, and that's like a merchandise kind of contract and shit like that. So that way. And I think it's a good thing for WWE because they can use his likeness and everything now too.
Mm-hmm.
I think because every time that this happens, they end up showing up at Raw or whatever. And Goldberg has made it very adamant that he wants to wrestle at least one more time for his kid, so that his kid can see him wrestle. So I think that's going to happen. I think that the Hall of Fame is going to be involved in this at some point within the next year or two. I think it's all going to be about China next year, so I don't know if it would be next year, but certainly if he's included, that would be one of the big names. So
yeah,
and
they have all the WCW footage, so they could show when he had. When he had his streak. When
I'm going to be honest with you, that was probably the smart. I don't know if Triple H was the one that actually came up with the whole WWE Network kind of thing, but whoever came up with that idea is a very intelligent person because that is smart. Taking all that previous footage, putting it on a streaming service, and people can watch it at their leisure. That's incredible. And then all the new content gets loaded the next day. Like, I mean, that's like intelligent. That's the thing that like I was talking about this. I've talked about this a couple of times with people. The NHL. This is something that they should do. I think it would be perfect for them because not as many people watch hockey anymore.
Yeah.
So for them that would be great. I think. What was the other? I was trying to think what the other one I was thinking too. Not the NFL, so to speak. I mean, the NFL could have something like that. I think that would be beneficial to them too, showing previous games. But there again, I don't know how many people would watch that.
Yeah, who's gonna sit through a fucking game of I mean, at least give the highlights. Like give like right. the games that have been known to be.
There again, they have the NFL Network, so they don't really need something like that. I think. Oh, you know what? It was baseball. I think baseball probably would have gotten a little bit better. Would get like a lot more based on this, and even if it was just like having current seasons on there, like I think doing that would be a good idea, just because it would help them do it. But having Goldberg as part of this is just going to be really good. And I assume that you'll see. Along with that, I'm sure you'll see Hulk Hogan back too. I'm sure that's going to happen here in the next year or two.
And let me tell you, I follow Hulk Hogan on social media. He got the word "immortal" tattooed on his back.
Did he?
Yeah, and it's that same font. For those who the band Godsmack.
Yeah.
They're the font for their main logo that they had since like day one. Because I follow Hulk Hogan on like social media, and there's a video of him on his like motorboat in Florida, in Clearwater, Florida, and he's driving, and so someone's behind him with a camera, and he has the fucking word "immortal" across his back. So I mean, don't get me wrong. If anybody should have the word "immortal" written across his back, the immortal Hulk Hogan.
Well, I think I mean, not to take credit off of Goldberg at the moment, but I think that even if these rulings get overturned, which I don't think. I think what's going to end up happening usually in these cases, the amount that's awarded to the person will get reduced. I think he'll probably end up getting, instead of, I think it was like 127 million was the judgment that the jury came up with. I think it'll be half of that. I think that'll still knock Gawker out of the fucking water, but yeah, I mean, I honestly think that these guys, he's gonna. I mean, either way, he won.
Yeah.
And if he wins at the other lawsuit that he has, because it was a defamation lawsuit, because they caused him to lose his WWE contract.
Yeah.
I think if he wins that one, which I don't know if they'll bring him to court or not, but if he wins that one, they're gonna,
And if it makes Hulk look good, it would definitely help WWE to go, well, maybe we'll reconsider and bring it back. I mean, he doesn't even have to wrestle. He just has to come to the ring. I mean, he's still good at cutting promos and stuff like that. I mean, once again, if you follow him on social media,
and again,
he promotes his he has like a surf shop.
This tape was recorded in like 2004.
Mm-hmm.
So, for me, this happened years ago. I don't even know why we're talking about it.
Yeah.
What I mean? So,
what I'm just saying is that he doesn't have to wrestle. Or, even a guy his age, he comes out, he wrestles one night a year. Comes out, does a bunch of promos, gets it all hyped up, comes out for WrestleMania, and then, they'll take it from there. And then if you get him with the right guy, he doesn't, yes, it'll be exhausting, but he's strong enough to fucking handle it. He's not going to die. Then just real quick, also The Rock, I guess they announced today that he's going to be playing Doc Savage. On top of being fucking Black Adam, on top of then he's filming Fast and the Furious now, which they showed him with a goatee. Which after looking at my goatee, I'm like, I got The Rock beat on one thing. That goatee's corny, but he's filming Fast and Furious. What is it? 8 Fast and Furious 8 now.
They had to bring him back. You don't have Paul Walker, obviously. So I mean.
Yeah, and I think, this one in Fast and Furious 8, it's supposed to be that... I never saw 7, but I guess it's supposed to be he gets kicked out of the FBI. So now he has nothing to lose. Now he could be a crook because, he's no longer law enforcement. I never saw 7, but, everyone said how great it is. But, he's doing Fast and Furious, Doc Savage. Eventually he's going to get around to doing his Black Adam movie. He got Jumanji lined up for, that they're going to film, in 3 weeks, him and Kevin Hart. So, I don't know. All right. So, and also, I just wanted to say congratulations to Bartolo Colon, my cousin. He's a Met. I know you're a Yankees guy, but I got to give the shout out to the Met. Because he was like a 40-year-old fat guy that hit a fucking home run. And I feel bad because he finally hits a home run. The first time in his life. He's a big fat guy. He kind of jogs his way to around the bases, and then the next day in the newspaper, they're talking about him having a secret family, him having another wife and kids and stuff like that, shit that he's been trying to keep hidden, and the news revealed it. That's a scumbag thing to do, but he finally gets his time in the sunlight, and they fucking smack him down the next day. So, just a shout. He's not really my cousin, but I'm assuming if his last name's Colon, and he's Dominican, but somewhere down the line, I'm pretty sure we're cousins somewhere. So we're gonna wrap it up. That's what she said.
Of course.
And please visit twostrangersonepodcast.net where you can find all things show related. You can find links to our iTunes page. I've been seeing other people with podcasts saying that they're having issues with iTunes. The last time I checked, things were going fine with our iTunes. So that's one of our first ways. If you still have an iPhone, an iPad, or an iPod, I don't know who still listens to podcasts that way, but if you do, you can subscribe to us on iTunes. You can find the links on twostrangersonepodcast.net. If you don't have an iPhone, an iPad, or an iPod, you can download us on the Stitcher app. It's the app that I use. It's how I listen to all my podcasts. Chris Hardwick's The Nerdist, Kevin Smith's Smodcast, Big Ray and the Wrestling Chick, and of course, Paul's other baby, the Tanami Faithful podcast, are all available on Stitcher. I like to say, put it on the listen later option, available offline, and you can download all the episodes. Whenever the episodes get uploaded, you just refresh it when you're in a Wi-Fi spot, whether you're at the public library like me, or you're at McDonald's, or
probably use the Wi-Fi at McDonald's.
If you're at the Starbucks or whatever, or Dunkin' Donuts, you can download all the episodes while you're in a Wi-Fi spot. And while you're there, I'm sorry, I was just double checking something. While you're there, download all the episodes and listen to them later on when you're not in a Wi-Fi spot, so you're not killing your battery, you're not killing your data. If you want to follow us on Facebook, You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/2strangers1podcast, all spelled out. It would be super duper helpful. We want your money. We need your money. But if you can't give us money, just go and share our page, like this particular episode. Any particular way that gets us on your timeline would be greatly appreciated. If you want to go back, and I've been, once again, like I was saying earlier, I've been uploading episodes to YouTube, but I've also been uploading episodes to Facebook, just so it kind of gets the word out there. So you go and listen to old episodes. Unfortunately, Facebook limits you to 45 minutes. So every episode is basically only up to 45 minutes. But it's available on there. And like I just mentioned, you could also follow us on Facebook. Go on Facebook and search for Two Strangers, One Podcast. You can find all the old episodes. The ones you can't find on iTunes or Stitcher anymore that are no longer on our server have been uploaded to YouTube. They're actually videos, so you could pop the video on and open another tab, and while you're goofing around on Facebook or whatever the case may be, you can listen to old podcasts. And that's actually the best way right now to support the show, because those videos are actually monetized. And once again, I can't tell you to click on the banner ads or click on the ads that play before the video. I can't tell you to do that. But if you happen to do that, it would definitely help the show. And we're slowly building up subscribers. We're definitely building up on views. So people have been following us on YouTube. Let me see if you want to write to us. Like I was just checking right now. I was checking our Gmail. You can write to us at gmail.com. Two Strangers One Podcast at gmail.com. That's Two Strangers One Podcast, all spelled out, at gmail.com. Welcome to all the new listeners. Anybody that has followed, that has gotten here through Big Ray's show. Anyone who's, if your friend recommended it or anything like that. Welcome to all the new listeners. And for the, we got decent feedback from the last episode on Twitter. And I really want to thank everybody for listening. And let me see, and we're on Twitter at Stranger Podcast, the @ Stranger Podcast. I acquiesce the floor to you, sir.
About time. No, I'm kidding. So you can find me on Twitter at Paul Pascrillo. You can, of course, go to Instagram, instagram.com/Paul Pascrillo. And you can ask me questions, ask.fm/Paul Pascrillo. And as Chris said, you can listen to me on my other podcast. It's the Toonami Faithful Podcast. SoundCloud, as I alluded to earlier, it's soundcloud.com/Toonami Faithful Podcast. And obviously iTunes and Stitcher. So there you go.
And just for like the couple of shout outs that we had on Twitter. At Acer1337, thank you for the support. Crowdcast, CROWQUAST, thank you for the shout out. Z123 Wrestling, D. I want to say D. D who? D's nuts.
D's nuts.
D and Hearts. D, the letter D and Hearts. Thank you for all the love on Twitter, and feel free. Once again, I would like to get back to getting emails like our old superfan Oscar, who fell off the face of the earth. But we certainly hope you guys enjoyed listening and had as much fun as we did recording. Thank you for listening to Two Strangers One Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Paul.
Don't be a stranger.
Peace.
Bye. You should be fapping tonight. Oh, okay, Cupid.
Just say okay.
All right, here we go, man. Go ahead. You want to read
Double Jackpot.
What is it?
It is a self-published book by Christopher Cologne.
Chris Cologne? Smells good to me.
But
Look at her. That broke that fucking cold little exterior. He's like, hee.
But it is spelled COLON.
Him punny.
But Double Jackpot is a book about a comic book artist, Eric, who is in a loveless relationship with the materialistic
I feel you, Eric.
Lynette.
Oh, fucking. Are you sure I didn't write this? Sounds hauntingly familiar.
He starts cheating on his girlfriend with a more creatively supportive woman, Nadia.
Well, I gotta meet her. Where's the Nadia?
There's your summer girlfriend.
Summer Nadia is Nadia.
Nadia?
Yeah, I think Nadia spelled with an A.
All right.
Both Lynette and Nadia play the double jackpot, the largest payout in lotto history, much like the recent Powerball. Both girls play his birth date as the winning numbers. Eric is now stuck between two of the country's richest women. Who will he choose? It's not that simple. This is a clever fucking idea,
Yeah, it
man.
is.
Look at her. Fucking, she's impressed.
I am.
She got some summer reading. Christopher Cologne smells real lovely with an original idea. This is. I've never heard this before.
I haven't either. This is a self-published book, much in the indie spirit as Kev's Clerks.
Oh, you don't even need to name check me. It's just a good idea. You could stand on your own, man. You don't even have to be like, hey, remember Clerks? This is nothing like that. This is way more original than Clerks. This is a good idea, man. Why didn't I think of this?
I need something to read. This book is part of the Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games Trilogy Book 2. Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, coming soon.
Right on, man. It's part of a trilogy. This is the first part.
Way to write, man.
He's seeking a literary agent. Motherfuckers, anybody out there? There ain't no literary agents listening to this show, I assure you, sure. Sure. I assure you, sure. But somebody know a literary agent? Hook a motherfucker up! Chris Cologne come up with an original idea. I should tell Raskin. That's a good fucking idea, to be honest with you. That's a fucking rom-com right there. Megan, get Raskin on the phone. Isn't it possible to get Raskin on the phone? No?
Yeah.
I want to run it past him, man. I want to, and if it happens, I get a taste, Chris Cologne. I get a whiff, if you will.
The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com.
That's lulu.com.
I understand that. I just want to spell it out.
Normally one says it that spells it. Still, lulu.com. What is that? Do you know what it is?
I don't know. All right. The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com. Search for Double Jackpot Christopher Cologne. A paperback version of the book is $15 and a PDF file is only $5.
$5 is
Yeah.
insanely inexpensive. 15's not even that bad for a paperback version.
No.
This is $1 million idea right here. Like a movie about a dude who fucking is stuck between two chicks, both of who play his birthday and win the lottery. Come on! I can see that trailer. Chris Cologne is on to something. Nobody else can smell it but me.
I'll read it.
Thank you. I'm going to make that smelly joke.
I know. You're trying to get me to laugh again.
It worked once. Double Jackpot is a self-published book by Chris Cologne, man. It's the first book in his Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games trilogy. Book 2, Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, should be coming out soon. Get all the information at Chris Cologne, like a motherfucker.
I will
his
totally
book,
read this.
Double Jackpot. I'm serious. I'm going to recommend that to fucking Raskin. How is that not a movie? You know what I'm saying? This could be a sexy movie. You could do an R-rated version. There could be nudity in it, and you could show them fucking both chicks. Maybe a little penetration. Maybe a butthole shot. No butthole, no care.
I would like to formally apologize to Christopher Cologne.
No, sex sells. Chris Cologne will appreciate that. He's like, thanks for throwing a few buttholes in there, man.
Don't forget to check out twostrangersonepodcast.net, your one-stop resource for everything show-related. You can find links to subscribe to us on iTunes or on Stitcher. You could also find links to buy my book, Double Jackpot, on twostrangersonepodcast.net.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.